49th in education. This annual Kids Count report came out. Oklahoma ranking 49th, nearly last in education. What do you attribute that to, and what did you think of that standing?
So I think there's a lot of components that we need to look at with this, and as an educator, I'll take my fair share of the responsibility. There's always things that we can be doing to improve our practices, but you've got to look at like the total metrics of where we're sitting at as a state. It's not just an education issue that we're facing. I think a lot of our issues are, you look at our communities, our healthcare situation's not great, even though our cost of living is low, so is our salary. So we've got a lot of folks that are in poverty right now. Kids come to school every day with a backpack filled with a lot of baggage that we don't see, but these are things that they're carrying in every day, and we can't expect a child to perform at the highest level if they're walking in hungry, if they're worried about safety, if they're not too sure where they're staying at from day to day. Our parents are out there working multiple jobs, and they're not able to really be able to provide that support that they want to for their children too. And so it's very much a community-based, a state-based issue that we're dealing with in education. So we can point the finger all day long at the schoolhouse, but it's everybody. It's that total picture.
I will tell you, I was up at midnight last night, and our reading scores are up across the district, so I'm fired up about that. And our ACT scores, we're working on them at the high school. So again, I'm not for sure exactly where they came up with that number, but I know we're working hard. We're providing a quality education for 7,500 kids in Enid. I know that.
You're focused a lot more on the Enid rankings versus.
We're going to be the best version of Enid we can be, okay. And we're all, as our district is focused on reading, and that's exactly what we're going to do from pre-Ks all the way up to until they graduate.
We were talking off the air a little bit about some of the other rankings, and Jason mentioned some of it, but most of the things we're talking about are social issues and social supports.
Dr. Polk, what did you think?
Well, it actually gave us an opportunity to stop and take a look at, and we can't pull that lever by ourselves. It's a community effort in those different areas also. So I thank you for that comment.
Yeah, in this report, there were 4 different metrics ranking essentially child's overall well-being in each state. And so you're saying you're not going to be #1 in healthcare or healthcare access and 49th in education. We're all going to. Okay. 100%.
100%.
Dr. Cobb?
Same thing. We're what, 1 or 2 in incarceration rate in the country. If you're in the top 10 in incarceration rate, you're probably in the bottom 10 in education. We're in the bottom 10 in terms of healthcare access. We're in the bottom 10 in terms of poverty. Things that affect families, things that affect neighborhoods and communities affect education. And then on top of that, you add that layer of respect for the profession. Like I was saying earlier, when you have that imbalance of emergency certified teachers versus teacher or candidates in the teacher prep programs, we don't have that veteran experience in our schools that we used to have. And so I think that we're doing the best with the people that we get who show up and work hard every day to teach our kids, but they're dealing with high ACE scores, high poverty rates. They're dealing with healthcare or food deserts. There are a lot of issues that our students come to school with that don't start when that first bell rings. They start before the kids get there in the first place.
Talking about respect for the profession.
I don't think it's one particular thing. I think it's a number of things that kind of become one big piece of this. So it's like incarceration rates. I mean, I know that's probably an issue at most of our school districts across the state. So I think those social and emotional learning, I think the fact that finances may not be what they should be at home to be able to allow for the other things that were typical 30 years ago.
It's a total picture of what this state needs, all the way down to how we're taking care of our homeless population.
When we come back, we're going to have some fun. We've gotten past everything else. What's your most exciting moment when you go back to school? Back to school jitters, it's always a fun time to head back to school. What are the superintendents looking forward to the most? We'll be back.